All right, welcome. This is a special where we're interviewing that power game 2 times. Luke, we're looking at the end of week 3. We're almost at the end of week 3, and in week 1, the power game. Might have mentioned 2 times. We're talking about two-time champion.
Yeah.
He's tied for. There's only one person who has a 2-time champion to their name, and that's Boo Boo One, unfortunately. And what this man did last season was magnificent. He won a championship.
11-2, bro.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
And we look at week 1, rebounding. He lost to the trash season, Chris. It was a very close matchup. He was projected to go head-to-head, and he lost near the end of the week. We look at week 2. It was even more devastating. In my feelings, he lost to Ricky, and it came down to the very end. It came down to Jamison Crowder in the fourth quarter and the Jets on Monday Night Football, where he had the victory sealed up for the majority of the night. Definitely a tough loss. Definitely a bummer. And then we look at week 3. For about 75% of the day on Sunday, the game was Mike's to win. Mike was winning it, and Russell Wilson pulled his magician ass shit.
The MAGA.
The Magna ass shit. But he pulled something out of his ass, and we're looking at a 50 burger to what he put down in the air, on the ground, and what he did could, the week's not over with yet. While we're having this interview, the week's not over with yet. Could put Luke back into the running with a win to seal him at 1-2. It looks like we're having this interview, and we're assuming that he's grabbing this victory.
I'm grabbing this victory.
And with that said, we want to talk about where does your team stand? Where do you see your team standing at right now? At the end of week 3, where do you see yourself moving forward?
Well, week 1 I lost by like 9 or 10 points, and it's usually like it's on me really because it's like a user error. Because I had like Adam Humphries in the starting lineup week 1, and I lost by 10 points, and I had DK Metcalf who had 10 points on my bench, and Adam Humphries had like 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
Could have won that week.
Mm-hmm.
I could have won week 2 against Ricky. Lost by 2. I had Emmanuel Sanders on my bench. He had like 23. I started somebody. Who did I start? I started somebody week. He had like no points. Mm-hmm. So I could easily be 3-0, but it is what it is.
Well, with that said, what can you do moving forward to ensure that you put the best players in position to lead yourself to victory?
I want to make some trades. That's what I really.
So with that said, who are the puzzle pieces that you're willing to move? Who and have you talked to other teams to
Man, I hit up Frank. I forgot who I tried to get from Frank. I tried to get somebody from Frank, but it wasn't working. He didn't hit me up. He wasn't feeling it. But yeah, I need a running back. I need probably a defense too, but running back first and foremost. I got some receivers. If you need a receiver, I got your boy. I got you because I got like 5 receivers that I can't juggle around and make start. Finish right.
Okay.
But if you need a receiver, I got you. You got a running back. Holla at your boy because I need that.
So I will say I think you've been doing magnificent stuff when it comes to the waiver wire.
I'm trying.
I think your best pickup to date, Scary Terry. I'm saying it because I'm seeing it. I look at the waiver wire, and Scary Terry is the man. I think that it's a boom. If you didn't pick him up, or if you didn't attempt to pick this man up, you clearly failed.
No.
And this guy is going to do great things for the Redskins.
And honestly, I had no idea who that was until week 1. Week 1, I was like, I watched his highlights and I was like,
I don't think anybody knew who Scary Terry was until after week 1. And then what you're looking at, what this man did in week 1 and what he's been doing since week 1. This guy's obviously a real deal. Now,
yes,
you plugged him into your starting lineup. And with that said, who's the odd man out in that lineup?
Because right now I have like Emmanuel Sanders, Tyler Boyd, Scary Terry, Randall Cobb, and DK Metcalf, and they're all like pretty average, but they're like solid people. So they'll all get their like 10 points. Like every week I've started any of them, they really had like about 10 points, 9 points. So they're consistent. It's just like you just gotta hope. Like this week they went off because
So with that said, it looks like you're very heavy when it comes to wide receivers.
So I'm trying to get rid of at least one of them. It don't even matter which one. I just need one of them.
So is there a certain wide receiver on your team that you think you can hand off that has the most value for you? The most value when it comes to trade bait, but it doesn't hurt you as much.
If y'all want Emmanuel Sanders, have him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing really well. He's at double digits 2 out of the 3 weeks.
Yeah, but do you think Joe Flacco, as a shitty quarterback as he is, can hurt you a little bit?
Hey, as shitty as he is, he got him. He's getting him the ball,
and that's understandable. But it's Joe Flacco.
But who's he gonna throw it to? It's only Sutton and Sanders. No, I get it, but like he can only throw to 2 people, and the Broncos suck. So they're going to be down most of the time, so they're going to have to air it out to come back.
And that's true. I mean, you know,
garbage time touchdowns.
And you know how I feel when it comes to the Broncos. I think Phillip Lindsay is the most overrated running back in the league. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, you'll hear a lot of my Connor Joe takes. But
overrated.
Phillip Lindsay sucks, dude.
Those
fluffy ass.
Kels, I want to say that I don't agree with that statement. That was just
don't even. Raquel's team sucks.
Oh my god.
But
and also Kels
she's going to grab that victory against Bukaki, which Bukaki claims to be.
Is she winning that right now?
Yeah, she's projected to win that game. And Bukaki is noted to say that's a trap game, and it happens. You know, you project yourself against a matchup, and you think it's an easy victory,
and it doesn't fall that way sometimes.
And sometimes
the team's just a bit.
That's right. You know, we'll talk about 3-4 weeks from now. Where do you see your team as? Do you see your team as a buyer or a seller? Especially, we moved up the trade deadline this year. It's a little bit earlier.
What week is it? 8.
It's about week 8. We moved it up, so tanking.
It's harder.
Tanking is harder to do, and it's harder to accumulate so many draft picks. Whereas you look at the draft the last 2 years, we had people like Divock accumulating like 8-9 picks within the first 3-4 rounds. Granted, Divock's probably not the best example because look at what his team's doing right now.
That nigga team sucks dick right now, boy. Holy shit.
Yeah, big schlong.
Yeah.
And Frank's team's not doing phenomenal either. So
he ate this week. Yeah?
Yeah, but he lost the last week. He should have lost the last 2 weeks before that.
What's his record, 2-1?
He's going to be 2-1 if everything pans out correctly. You know how I feel about Frank's team.
I wish I was.
Don't get me on this because Pops thinks Connor Joe's too mean on New England. Is the only one leading the team for Mr. Incognito. Fuck that. All right, fuck that. Fuck that. With that said, where do you see your team about 3-4 weeks from now?
Hopefully I can go on a run, man. I need a run bad. Starting 0-2 as a champion, that's not how I want to start off. I want to get the ball running. I want to let people know that even without a second, third, ninth pick, I'm still a problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Hopefully I can go on the streak. If not, then people will be traded. If you want Kamara, and my team sucks by then.
And with that said, I mean, I believe you are never scared. You're never scared to make that move. Especially if you're gonna thread that needle to be that better team.
Gotta take risks.
You'll thread that needle.
No
and
risk.
If we look at the 2 years that you won the championship,
yes,
you have made the move to put yourself on the other echelon.
Yes, sir.
But where do we look at your team if you're sitting in the middle of the pack? Will you make that move? If it doesn't guarantee you to be that better team.
If I'm in the middle of the pack, I'm going to just sit it out and try to fight through it, try to make some free agent pickups, and try to make a move. Because I believe that if I just draft normally, I could eat. I don't have a second, third, and a nice pick, and I'm still maybe the 7th or 8th highest scoring team in the league. I don't need to trade nobody. I'll just trade just for the sake of hopefully make my team better, or just trade for the future and make sure I guarantee my third championship. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel the need to trade. I just like to trade just to see if I can make my team better or not. Yeah. If not, then it's tank season. But right now, assuming I win, I'm sure I'm gonna win because I'm sure I'm gonna win. Yeah. But I'll be 1-2. Hopefully, I go on a streak. I forgot who I play next week. I play somebody who should be beatable. Don't take no offense to that, whoever that is. I don't know who that is right now. I just assume if it's not fucking Pops or D-Block, or some Super Saiyan ass team, I should be able to compete.
And I think the beauty of this league this season is I think the parity it's pretty even keel. We're looking at a lot of the teams are sitting like right in the middle of the mix. You know, you grab that victory in week 3, and you're sitting right in the middle of the mix of things. Unless you're 0-3, I think you're in good position to.
If you're 0-3, you're doing pretty bad right now. I'm not
Sorry, D-Buck. If you're sitting 0-3, you're in bad position. But, you know, this league is very even keel. And exactly. With that said, if you can come out of week 3 sitting at least at 1-2, you're in good position to fight that fight.
How do you feel fourth down and bitches are doing? I didn't get your opinion on that because I think I should. Yeah, do your thing.
Now, me and fourth down and bitches, I report to fourth down and bitches. And I think fourth down and bitches is doing phenomenal. They need a quarterback.
Who's the quarterback for fourth down and bitches?
Phillip Rivers is their quarterback. They don't have a backup. Their backup is Mason Rudolph. And if you saw Mason Rudolph this week, no. Their running game's pretty strong, but their running game's going to hurt next week because their running game is Le'Veon Bell, Matt Breida, Austin Eckler. It's great. But next week, Le'Veon Bell and Matt Breida are both on a bye week, so that leaves you Austin Eckler and Singletary as their running backs. So I think they have great puzzle pieces, but I think from what I heard, fourth down and bitches is also at the point where they're willing to trade puzzle pieces to kind of move on up. This is what I heard from the commissioner himself. Obviously, the commissioner is the one that runs this team, and that's what I've heard. The commissioner, just like everyone else, is trying to make that push to be the better team also. I will tell you one thing, and I think we can all agree, the last thing anybody would want is the commissioner to win this league. It's probably the one thing that's going to make you guys hate this league. Can we agree?
I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind the commissioner winning this league?
I wouldn't. You know why? Because I always have that one ace in the hole that I'm a 2-time champion.
That's true. That's true. And the funny thing is you are a 2-time champion. There's another 2-time champion, and there's only
fraudulent. It's fraudulent.
And there's only one person other than that who's ever won the league, and that's
it's your brother. No, Chris.
Oh, there's 2 people. I'm sorry. There's Chris, and then there's my brother, and that's it. This league hasn't been around for very long, but
if it's up to me, I'm winning every year, so I'm still gonna count like I'm winning.
And the year's so early, so the year's so young.
If I go on a run, oh my god, and I got more points than a lot of you motherfuckers. So if y'all lose and I have the same record as y'all, I'm jumping y'all because y'all niggas suck. And y'all been getting wins because y'all play weak ass niggas. But good on you. You win. You beat who's on the schedule, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
And like I've mentioned, just like the New England Patriots. And just like the San Francisco 49ers, you can't control what your schedule is.
You gotta be who you gotta be, man.
Beat who they're coming. And right now, you know, we look at you. You faced trash season. Unfortunately, you lost.
By like 10.
Then you faced the Mike Dealings. Unfortunately, you lost.
By like 10.
And then the next person up, you're going to beat. So
by like 30.
And that's how we look at it. So with that said,
fuck you.
Power game. Anything you have to mention before we head out?
All I know is that at some point, somewhere, somehow, a lot of you will be blessed by the power games. That's all I got to say about that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. That's the power game. Thank you.